Hello! Today we're going to be talking about OculusExplore. OculusExplore is a VR-based project developed under the context of Comp 492, Computer Science Project at Concordia University. The project has as a goal to explore the capabilities of the Oculus Rift and test out several applications with it. So, what are these applications? Well, for one, there is a video loader, which can also load images. Basically, it loads existing VR content into this VR project. The second of which is a bit more interesting, the Google Street View loader, which loads Google Street View based information into our VR project. And the third of which is a Kinect Mesh Viewer, which you can utilize to view things from a Microsoft Kinect version 2 device. So let's get into it. So I'm going to launch my project here. And you're greeted with a little main menu screen. So I'm going to put on the Oculus Rift. And you can pretty much select between the three modes I mentioned prior. So let's start with video since it's the simplest and it's pretty easy to explain. In fact, it's pretty self-explanatory. So, just putting back on the headset, you can sort of see that it loads a VR video that exists already. This is one I pulled off YouTube. So, as you can see, it's a pretty standard VR video. It's going to go ahead and play. There's really not much more to it, so I'm going to stop playing it here and go back to the main menu. Now, moving on, there's two more modes that we need to cover. The Street View, which we're going to get into now, takes a while to load. It's not very optimized because pretty much what it does, it gets Google Street View information and loads it up. So, right now, I'm at a loading screen. It looks slightly different for me due to the Oculus interface itself than it does for you. For you, the screen just stacks. For me, there's a little Oculus loading info. And there you go. So right now, we're in Google Street View. This is a random street I picked that's not too far away from me. So, for one thing, you'll notice that since this is Google Street View, it is not stereoscopic. This is just a mono image. But you can still look around and it looks pretty legitimate. One thing you can actually do, which doesn't work too well, but it does work, is move around. So for instance, if I want to move over there, I'm now looking down the road, I'll pretty much press the spacebar. Now, it does some calculation to try to estimate where that location is, since we don't really have information about that. But it's going to do its best, and we'll see once this finishes loading. There you go. We move on to the next location. I'll just do it one more time here. You press space. I didn't optimize it too much. I could have made it download this info in the background, but unfortunately I didn't have time to implement that feature. So for now, you just have to wait for it to get the next image. And there you go. So, look over there, you press space, you can go back. It does cache the images you already have, so you can sort of see it went much faster that way than it did the other way. But sometimes it bugs out, and there's not perfect vector calculation for the locations, let's say. There's definitely optimizations to be implemented here. Like this one, for instance, it's kind of skipped along. So we were somewhere over there, and it sort of went to this location instead of going over there, which might not be ideal. But in any case, that's the Street View. And now moving on to the Kinect feature. So, get into it. So what we're greeted with here is a Kinect Mesh. So, I can't really show you, but up here, where I'm looking at, like right up there, there's a Kinect device that's looking down at me, and you can sort of see my poster over here where I'm putting my hand. Basically what this does is it loads image information from the Kinect. It also loads depth information from the Kinect, so it gets both color and depth, and it maps it onto a mesh in Unity. There's some challenges here. As you can see, there's definitely a very discernible amount of noise. I did this on purpose because I wanted to be as accurate as possible to the info we get from the Kinect. So there's ways of smoothing it, but I didn't want to. I wanted to simply represent all the data we received from the Kinect. And I did some effects on it, so you can sort of move around in VR, and sort of kind of see that what you have in front of you is indeed a mesh and not just a 2D image. So there you go. And that is it for the OculusExplore project. Thank you for listening. If you want to check it out, everything is on the GitHub that is linked in the description, and I'll also link the video that I used for the video section in the video description. So thank you very much. Have a good day.